series of Dice Droppers. I am your host and Game Master Lawson Barter, and we have everyone here back today for another wonderful session tonight of Dice Droppers, where just a bunch of fun friends sit around, play Dungeons & Dragons while attempting to not allow their dice to drop on the floor. So, without further ado, we got Luke Barter.
Yo, what's going on?
Fabs, Chris Ward, and Oscar. And one of our players is unable to make it tonight. Not a big deal. We will continue the session, and hopefully she'll be able to join us in the next few coming sessions. All right. So, last we left off, a group of adventurers started in the city of Chwendel, a town known for its trade and also kind of like a location where a lot of travelers go to the inn to stay for the night. And it's just a really good medium, probably like midpoint in terms of where, people would kind of stop and get some extra, belongings. I would say probably rations. And it's a good just stopping point to rest while they're making their way in between two of the larger cities in the continent. After, walking around town and getting the lay of the land, the adventurers stumbled upon each other as Salithel stole a sword from an individual who was not too thrilled about it. And after encountering with the Marshal was pretty understanding. And as the group was looking around and for the specific bar of the roasted boar, a white adult dragon fell from the air, extremely injured. The group was managed to slay it and made their way into a different tavern pub known for being very well informed as the bartender or tavern keeper, whatever you want to call it, by the name of Floyd, a orc that has light blue skin, long tusks. Lloyd, actually. I didn't say. Why did I say Floyd? Lloyd is kind
Lloyd
of a
Mayweather.
Right. Yeah, Lloyd Mayweather. Yeah.
As a tavern boy.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about the money, right? He is more of an information broker and knows a lot about the city of Chwendel and knows about the whereabouts. And having discussed with a few individuals in terms of where they might be able to seek out information, they confirmed that there is a cathedral, and at the bottom of the cathedral there is a black market where a lot of trade and items that aren't necessarily legal to sell are there. So, as the group of adventurers figured this out, they went back to their table, had some meal, and the door just sprang open as a mechanical bird flew into the bar. So, as the mechanical bird flies into the bar, you see a woman that walks in right after it. The woman is wearing leather black attire. She stands about 5'8". You see that she has a rapier in her left, on her left side, and on her pendant that's like holding the like black cloak that goes down her body. You actually see a golden dragon pin that's holding it on there. So it's a good lapel that's on there. The mechanical bird, kind of hits the wall, falls to the ground, and Lloyd looks up and is like, "Oh, I didn't think you were coming in at any point. Well, I thought you'd be coming in a few more days later." And she looks at him and is like, "No, my travels, some things have come up, and I need to get to Tara very fast. So this is just a mere stopping point. So I just need a place to stay and some food, and I will be on my way." Lloyd kind of looks at her, and she sits down, and she's got like probably like shorter black hair. It's not like it's probably like goes right down to like at least about where her shoulders are, but it's not very long. She seems very well mannered, and from what you guys see, she is just a little bit more proper. And from the attire that you would see of normal townsfolk, you can see that she has some status. But the golden lapel pin that's kind of holding her cloak, I will say that Eva recognizes that immediately. So as the mark of the Golden Dragons, which is one of the probably the largest guild in Datara, and they're very known throughout the lands as being, let's say, like top mission completers and extremely trustworthy. So, as this happens, your group sees this. What do you guys do?
Are we going to gloss over the big metal bird that just crashed behind the bar? Is that normal around here? I mean, I know that we just had a dragon fall out of the sky, but I think this is...
It's not a giant. It's probably like this big, probably maybe like a foot or two, but it's bigger.
A metal bird.
It's a metal bird.
Dragon.
Not compared to the dragon.
No, but it's certainly a strange occurrence, is it not?
Are you talking to Lloyd about this?
I'm just posing the question to like the bar in general.
So you see that that Vaz kind of looks over from like playing cards over across the table. He's like, oh yeah, no, I mean, there's some people that do kind of like tinker and stuff like that. So it could be from something else. I don't know. I don't really care. And he just keeps going and playing cards. He's like, I'm gonna call, and the other guy's like, Voss, like, you're not gonna win this hand. I got the best hand already. Like, Voss, you just hear like pushing of chips shoved closer to the table, and you get a feeling that this hand is not gonna end well for him. Lloyd hears you pose the question as well, and Lloyd goes, "Oh yeah, let me check this out real quick." He walks over, and I'll have Salithol roll a perception check for me.
Ooh, truly. 24.
So you do notice, as Lloyd is picking up the bird from the ground, you do notice that it's still intact, but in between the beaks, there's like a little parchment of paper that he just kind of pulls and puts in his pocket as he picks the bird up, and he looks at it, he winds it back up, and it lets it go, and it starts kind of like flying around in the room as it begins to drop. He just kind of catches it in the air, and he's like, all right, this is kind of cool. He walks behind towards the bar and just kind of sets it down on one of the shelves.
So, have you seen anything like this before? New girl, is this your thing?
He's pointing at me, or
to the woman who just walked in.
Oh, to the woman who just walked in.
Yeah.
She kind of looks at you, and she's like, and she just kind of like doesn't even really acknowledge your presence. Looks at Lloyd and goes, "So, do you have a room, for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got a room." And it's like, "Don't worry about it. Like, I'll comp it for you. You're all good." Like, "Oh, thanks." She begins to like turn and make her way out the door, and she looks at you, and she just goes, "Clearly, you're not cultured on these sorts of things that, I would say probably a little bit out of your, grasp." She begins to kind of walk closer to the door.
I'll let it. I won't say anything, but I'll just stare at her as she leaves.
In what way?
As an annoyed way. What?
In an annoyed way. What other way?
She just fucking insulted me.
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe you're a specific type of person.
Well,
who might enjoy that.
In any case,
or your character. Sorry, your character.
Yeah, my character thing.
So, you're not going to say anything to her as she leaves?
No, I'm just gonna stare daggers in the back of her head.
She walks out, and you you can hear like walking around the building from where it's currently located, and you guys know this. Behind the building, there's lodging, and it's kind of like a motel kind of vibe. There's just like the doors are from the outside, and you walk in, and it's just very simple, like bed, closet. There's a door, there's a lock on it, and a window. So she begins to like walk back around. It's like later in the afternoon at this point, probably around like 2 or 3 o'clock. It's getting a little bit cloudy, a little bit more cloudy than what it was earlier. You guys have been at the Dancing Deer for about a couple hours. I would say like at least an hour, close to 2 now. And you've eaten all your food, so Lloyd comes over. He's clearing your plates off and pulling stuff off your table, filling up some water for the rest of you. What do you guys do?
So, we know that the shop, shall we say, opens at sundown. We've got a couple hours to kill. Clouds, what do you want to do? You seem like you're interested in things.
Yeah, I'd love to go over there. I'm not rocking any hurry or anything, so I'll just hang. No.
We've got time to spare. We've got to do something in the meantime. I don't want to be spending it taking Vaz's money and cards. What about you? What about you, Tusks? What do you want?
Tusks. Thought it was teeth the last time. Coming up with new names over here.
I'm learning on. Have my pocket thesaurus.
He's learning new offensive slurs.
They're coming along well. They really are. Hey, listen. I'm not sure if this will be a crowd favorite, but I did come to the town, to Tisdale. What town are we in? Tisdale.
You're in the city of Twendle.
Twendle, sorry. Oh, yeah.
Larger town, small city type vibe. It's not like astronomically large.
I did come.
Yeah,
to
we're
Twendle,
in Twendle, not Twindle,
hoping-
which is exactly the same in every way.
But it's not.
But it's not.
It's the same, but different, but still the same.
Anyway, I did come to Twindle with plans of hoping to speak to some people on the fortune tellers in the area. Would you all mind if we took a little detour? Hoping we can stick together.
Seeking our destiny. I'm all about destiny.
Oh yeah, hoping to find something good.
Yeah, that'll go about an hour or two. What about you, Books?
I'm just going to roll my eyes immediately and be like, you guys seriously believe in that stuff?
I believe in hearing fanciful tales for a few silver.
Well, even if it's not true, what harm could it do?
I don't know. Trick people into giving fraud money for years on end.
But that's the best part!
Of course you would say that, you thief.
I'm sorry. I peruse other people's inventories occasionally, and when something has a knack, it's fun.
Oh, is that the PC way of saying it? I'm sorry to offend you.
Oh, you don't offend me at all. In fact, can I try to like pat her on the back and like slip something off of her, like slip the the little like pendant of like the silver falcon?
I don't have a pendant.
You don't have a pendant?
I don't have a pendant.
What was your mark then? That was like
I'm wearing a jacket with the silver. It's on the back.
Oh well.
It's like stitched in.
Rips off the whole
I'm gonna say you're not gonna be able to do that because they don't have that.
I take a pendant out of thin air. Can I steal something so good I reach into the void?
I tried to pickpocket 100 gold off of him. He doesn't have 100 gold. I pickpocket him!
Well,
so at this point, you guys have been talking, and it's been proposed that you want to go see some fortune tellers. So at this point, what is your group deciding to do?
Let's follow.
Oh, sorry.
I'll follow reluctantly.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to the bartender and just ask him.
Okay.
Where's Salazar in Dorne, by the way? I know their whereabouts.
So you went to the. They said that they would like meet up with you later, I guess. They told you to kind of investigate. So Karst, you walk up to Lloyd, and he's the table's cleared. He's now like cleaning up some glasses at the bar, and you walk up to him. He goes, "Oh, yeah, Karst, right?
Cost, yeah, you got it, Lloyd. Hey,
Oh,
listen,
yeah,
if a man was around here trying to find out a little bit about his future, where might he go? You know, anyone with some insights around here?
yeah. That's a good question. I don't think. Well, I think Madame Navaria is probably the best, I would say, of fortune. She's been pretty on point for some of the things I've asked her before, but other individuals that I've sent there have also confirmed that as well. So she's probably maybe like 5 or 6 minute. I'd probably say a little bit more than that, but probably 5-10 minutes depending on how crowded it is. Get ahead a little bit more east down the road, but it's like literally like you can't miss it. It's got this big crystal ball that's like standing up over a very purple like tent. So it's pretty large. You could probably fit the most of you, but you can't miss it.
All right, so crystal ball, purple tent, sounds hard to miss. Thank you for the help.
Absolutely, yeah, of course. Happy to be of service for sure.
Cool. And I'll slap down a little silver piece on the table for his time.
Wow, thank you so much.
Away.
But hey, this information's no trouble. This is more of a tourist question. Here you go. You can have that back.
Appreciate it, Lloyd.
Yeah, of course. But come to me if you have any other questions, and we'll talk.
All right. Keep that in mind. And I'll turn around and walk back to the group.
All right.
He just called him a tourist.
We're all tourists here, aren't we?
By definition. Anyway, what do we find?
Fuck, what did he say? There was a door open at 10. I think it was purple, blue, something like that. It's gonna be down the street though.
Something about the DM talking that gives everyone short-term memory.
We're gonna have to work on your information recall, big man. All right, let's walk.
All right, I'll lead the way. I'll storm out the door.
All right. So as you guys open the door, standing as you open it, standing before you, you all feel immediately just kind of this presence and this aura of just kind of almost petrified fear for a brief moment. And standing before you is a gentleman with short, slicked back hair. It's a little bit longer, but it's slicked back. He's got brown eyes, nicely trimmed short beard. He stands at about 6'1" and wears very much, I would say, like formal black attire that's very tight. You see that he has a few different types of weapons that are more concealed, but you can tell that they're there. And his eyes are red. And he just looks right at you, almost looking through you at that point, and begins to just walk in between you guys, not even acknowledging that you're there. Do you guys move out of the way?
I will.
No,
Rather not get bumped into.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna block his way, but I'm not gonna move.
He's in like full all black. Like all the formal attire is in black, and he's got beet red eyes, and just begins to walk forward. I know I said brown, but it's actually red.
Can I do the little like, hey, a thank you would be nice.
Doesn't even look your way, doesn't even acknowledge you, just walks in. And as you kind of are looking that way, you see a lot of the patrons in this particular tavern begin to kind of, their eyes jolt up, some of the conversations begin to immediately stop. You look at Vaz as he currently has some cards and he slowly places them down and the coins that are currently on the table, he looks over at a couple of the other gentlemen that are playing with him, and they kind of grab like a cloak and just kind of toss it over. The gentleman walks up immediately to Floyd and goes, "Is she here?" Floyd looks at him a little bit petrified and says, I don't know what you're talking about." "No, come on, Floyd. You can tell me the truth. You know who I work for." Floyd looks back and goes, I really don't know where she is. Pity.
Can I
Gonna ask
look
you-
and see if he has any like emblems of any guilds that I might recognize?
Absolutely. So if you want to do that, you're gonna have to look a little closer because currently he's walked past you. So if you want to like, kind of move around, you can.
I will move around.
Okay. So you kind of, I'm gonna have you roll a stealth check. And there's a reason for that.
Nat 1.
There it is.
That's what get me.
You're looking and watching the conversation, really trying to see kind of like if there's any emblems. And as you are walking, you end up placing your hand on a chair and it just falls down to the ground and it just makes a really loud noise in the tavern. You hear a sigh. And as the gentleman turns and looks at you, he says, "Do you mind?"
I don't mind one bit. And then I will just kind of slowly walk away.
All right, you slowly back up. I'll have you roll a perception check with disadvantage. Just to see if you noticed anything maybe when he walked in.
Okay.
And he is a human, by the way. Forgot to mention.
No frickin' way. Alright, that's gonna be 14. I rolled 2 12s.
You don't notice anything particular that you're aware of. You thought you might have seen something on his neck, but you couldn't really tell.
I want to walk to where
What about his back?
where Eva just went and say, "You gotta pick up after yourself." Like not being stealthy, just walk over, just pick up the chair, put it back into the table, and then can I use that opportunity to see if I can I can see anything like any?
Sure,
any
you're gonna have to get a little bit closer. So you do say that. I'm gonna have you roll a persuasion check.
You take the long way to get to the other side of the table.
Oh, that's actually
He
much higher than I
persuades
thought.
the chair into sitting
7.
back up.
7. Okay, so you say it. It's not how it's conveyed to everyone in the tavern. You can kind of tell you're a little bit full of it. But this individual does not acknowledge your presence, and you begin to walk more forward from where you are to get a little bit better look. As this happens, you need to make a dexterity saving throw for me. It needs to be higher than 15.
No.
I didn't ask how big the room was.
Oh.
I said I cast Fireball.
Okay.
Alright. 3d12 damage.
Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Does an 18 hit a rogue?
All right. You take you only take 3 points of damage. And it's more so like just kind of like nicks your face. You see as this individual just quickly turns, throws a dagger, like barely even looking, just kind of, and it's like a very probably small throwing knife, and it just skins you right across the face and just hits the wall behind you. And he goes, "Don't take another step forward. I have business right now." And you see as it gets really quiet in the tavern, you are currently standing probably, if we're talking directional, if I'm this individual across from me is Lloyd, and then you're kind of more towards the back right of him. as he looks over at Lloyd, he goes, "I'm gonna ask you one last time. Where is she?" Lloyd goes, "I don't know." And as that happens, this individual just takes his hand and just like picks Lloyd up. And Lloyd's a half orc, by the way, with one arm, and he's just holding him up against the wall with one arm. He goes, he's like, "I don't believe you. Tell me right now where she is." And you see him like struggling, and he goes, "Okay, she went towards Cedar Nest," and he just drops him. He kind of flops down and starts coughing behind the bar, and he goes, "That wasn't so hard now, was it?" And as he turns back around, he looks over at you, Salithel, puts his arm out, and the small throwing dagger comes back into his hand, and he just puts it back. What appears to be like either in his pocket or his sleeve, you can't really tell. It's so fast, and begins to walk back out of the tavern.
Stranger.
He stops, looks at you.
Take care on which enemies you make. You may be strong, but it doesn't matter if you're how strong you are. You piss off too many people, they can find you.
Clearly, you're not from here, are you?
I may not be from here. Fresh eyes give new perspective. Build a reputation. I'll make cow others. New faces, not so much.
If you don't know me, which clearly you don't, and clearly you do not know who you are messing with. Now I hear what you're saying, but let me heed this warning to you. You don't mess with our group. And he begins to like walk out. And as he does, he kind of like pulls down where the neck is, kind of just like flaunting it almost a little bit. And appearing on there is a spider. It's a spider tattoo, and it's a black spider. Nobody in this group knows what that is.
You suck. I really thought that was going to be some guild.
I'm not saying that you won't find out, obviously, but you can also ask around for information too. So he leaves the bar. As that happens, you see Voss kind of stand up and run over to you guys and goes, "What the hell are you guys thinking? Like, you don't know about the black spiders. You don't talk to this. You don't talk to these guys at all."
I'm not saying that you can't find out, but you can ask around. Immediately gives us the information of what the group's name is.
Of course. Vaz is currently paying for your tab, and he's concerned about you guys. You guys just slayed a dragon. Like, he wants you guys to have a good reputation.
Well, I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of having my face sliced open, so, scary dude walked into a room, kind of disrespecting me. There's a little back and forth there,
That guy's name is known. He's known throughout this city, and it's not someone who you want to mess with.
What is his name?
His name's Cairo Anton. He's part of the Black Spiders, and currently works for the boss of the Black Spiders. They are a very much organized gang, or I would say family. That's what we call them around here. That gathers all sorts of information, and they really run the black market, and they're extremely notorious for gathering items of great value and seeking out information. They also put out bounties on people and I know this individual in particular is very skilled and has worked on a lot of bounties, not only in this city but in other cities as well. He's a very skilled fighter and assassin, and he's very capable. He's not somebody that you want to mess with. He's probably up in the higher ranks of this gang. No, at this point the tavern is pretty kind of going back to their own business. Floyd kind of stands up, walks over and to you, and he's apologizing to other people there that are sitting down as well. He's like, I'll get you a couple free drinks. Walks over to your group and he's like, hey, I'm really sorry. Because he typically is pretty understanding and believes me, but for whatever reason he didn't believe me this time.
This all seems a little bit out of our depth, what we really want to be doing. I mean, I kind of just want to listen to a story, and now all of a sudden there's a dagger in my face. So, you know what? What do we want to do? What are we here for now? We want to deal with the Shadow Death Cult, or do we want to go listen to
Fortune telling. Let's go.
One of them seems
Not a whole lot we
less
can do
risky than
about
the other.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Could be
Maybe
fun,
we'll
though.
see a
It's
spider.
completely up to you guys what you want to do.
Hey, listen, the
Well-
fortune tellers will be there later if we want to pursue this new lead.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know I have business to attend to down there, so
I personally
as
think
much as
this
I would
is-
love to be the fortune teller, I'm gonna go down that way.
Well, hey, this seems more like this seems more than a 2-hour thing, so if we're trying to still go shop at the end of the day, what do we want? Are you going after spooky boots, Eva, or are you going to go see the fortune teller?
I'm gonna go. Okay, so is there any way that I can go and possibly message like Salazar or whatever? Or
Mhm.
Dorne? Okay, I'm gonna go
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah, so you walk outside and we'll say for kind of sake of this, you're kind of looking around to see if you see Salazar anywhere. From kind of looking around and everything, you don't see them. So you end up calling out to one of your falcons, and the way in which you do this is just really kind of channel, and it's almost kind of like a cantrip for you, and you hear from afar. It takes a few minutes, but you hear from afar that a falcon appears from the sky and kind of perches down on your arm. You write a little note letting him know, like, hey, meet up at whatever point you desire. Like, where would you want to meet up with them?
Let's meet up at the tavern. Let's meet up at the tavern because that's where I'll wait there for them.
Sure.
Bother
You
you.
say meet up at the tavern, and
Yeah.
you send the falcon off, and the falcon leaps up and begins to kind of fly. It's headed more the west direction, which you kind of had a hunch about, but you feel a lot better, and you give them a time period to meet you over there. So,
Okay.
all right. So at this point, you guys are currently still, around looking at, looking at whereabouts and everything. What does your group decide to do?
Well, Eva doesn't want to listen to fun stories, so I think we just go off and have a little bit of a fun night on the town while Books here would rather study. So Shall we go?
Nice.
Sounds good to me.
Oh.
Cool. Awesome.
As we
So-
walk, I want to pull out like a little pouch and be like, Gumroot? Anyone?
Sure. Nora takes one.
Nice. Excuse me. So you guys make your way down the street and continue on. I mean, it's again like you're in this town's a lot of people that are trading. It's getting a little bit later in the day, probably around like 3 or 4 o'clock at this point. It's pretty cloudy. There's some shade that's kind of like going around blocking out the sun. As you guys continue to move on, you hear a couple, cart vendors that are getting pulled by horses. Like bread. Anyone need some bread? Rations of bread here for you. And another one is saying, "Oh yes, cabbage. I have some cabbages. Anyone need some cabbages? No. And for the most part, people are saying like, "Oh, this is the best sword in the entire world," and the guy goes, "Ah, it's bogus." There's a flower shop, and it's a couple other small little magic shops. Some were some potions and elixirs and some antidotes. A couple other people are cooking some smoked meat. As you get a little bit closer, you do end up seeing the larger tent that's purple with a crystal ball that's above it on the top, pointed towards the sky. You stand before, and there's like an opening right before this tent, and it's open, and you can't really see anyone inside. It's pretty dark in there. So what do you guys end up doing?
Seems to match the description that we got before. After you.
Looks close enough to me, and I'll walk right in.
All right.
Sweep the curtain out of the way on my way.
So you walk in, and I mean the curtain's pretty open. You walk inside, and it seems pretty plain, but it's elegant in a sense. It's extremely organized. There's a table that sits directly in the center of this larger tent almost, and sitting at the end of it facing your group, there is a woman, more darker skinned, with red hair and a very, very attractive smile. She is young and extremely attractive, as I just said. And she says to your group, "I've been expecting you for. Come, please, come sit with Madame Navaria, and I will tell you what you would like to know."
we can all come in, right?
But of course, that's why you're here. I've been expecting all 4 of you. And at the table, you see as which was just one chair and a table, 4 chairs kind of glisten and appear. Looking around at the tent, inside, there's, a few cards, there's a skull, there's some candles that are non-lit, different colors, a variety of them. There's black, blue, white. In one, you see a few jars that have a couple frogs and lizards and what appear to be abnormal arms of some creature inside of it. And I don't know, just some other weird type of merchandise in this shop as well. Or fortune shop, I guess you could call it.
The chairs are a parlor trick. Come on. I'll walk over and I'll sit down.
Okay, so you sit down. The rest of you follow?
I'm gonna push my hand
Yeah.
down on one of the chairs, just like make sure it's real and doesn't break when I try, and then I'm gonna drop my 300-pound self onto it.
So you put your hand down on the, and it's physical, and you gotta test its weight. She looks at you and smiles, and you sit down right on the chair. Does everyone else follow suit?
I will sit down reluctantly.
You sit down reluctantly, and what about you, Aura?
Yeah, I sit down. It's not my first time seeing this trick.
So you sit down, and she looks at all four of you and goes, "Welcome. I'm very happy that you have arrived finally. I was beginning to worry that you would not come. Which one of you would like to go first?"
I mean, I have a question if no one's itching to go first. I guess it was my idea after all.
Please, by all means.
Oh, I should ask it?
But of course.
All right.
Why else were you here?
Well, all right. Well, I don't know. You didn't say to ask the question, so I didn't ask the question yet. Listen, Madam Navarra, have you ever had a dream that was so real feeling that when you woke up, you weren't sure if you were dreaming or now or then? You know what I mean?
Tell me more about this dream. What did you experience?
Well,
Perhaps I can help you interpret it.
Well, it was my only dream that night, I think. I don't remember any of the dreams. It was pretty short, but there was a sky, and there were birds in the sky, right? Like flying. And I had the dream once, and it was just a dream, but I just kept having the dream. Again and again and again. Night after night, and it's just driving me mad, you know?
How many birds were in the dream?
I think there were usually 5 birds in the dream. Okay, yeah, 5 birds.
Interesting. What did they resemble? What did they look like? What kind of birds do they look like?
I think they were ravens. I don't know. I don't see too many birds where I'm from. I only know what I hear of them, but
Nevermore.
maybe they were different colors. I think they were all black one time. Different colors the next time.
That's really peculiar. 5 birds flying across the sky. How many times have you had this dream?
Oh, it had to be more than a handful. Like I said, it was night after night for many moons on end. At least a couple months, I'd say.
Interesting. Now, can you please put your hand out?
Oh,
And you put your hand out, and she holds down your hand on like your palm, and you place your hand on top. She takes her secondary hand and holds on, and kind of clasps it down, not firm, but just gently, and closes her eyes. And as you begin to describe the dream again, it's almost kind of like a projection above the table. And as you're talking about this dream, these birds appear almost in a little bit transparent type of form and glistening in the air, almost kind of like a hologram of some sorts. And you see these 5 birds floating across on the top. One of the birds is colored blue. The other one of the colors is red. Another one's white. Another one's green. And another one's black. As the birds float across the sky a few times, it stops, and she releases your hand from whence you are clenched. You look at her, and she expresses to you that she gives you this expression of a little concern, but uncertainty in a sense. So she says to you, "The 5 birds resemble the 5 chromatic dragons of this realm. You have the red dragon, the black, the green, the white, and the blue. All various in different forms. Flying together can mean a few things. It can mean that they're flying towards something. It can mean that they are flying away from something. But it does resemble the dragons. A heed of caution. If this appears before you, my best guess is that you will, in some ways, encounter these beasts at some point in your life. But it could also mean that you will be impactful in some ways to these dragons. That is all I can tell you, but a little bit more information than I thought I would receive, so I wish I could tell you more, but this is all I see.
Dragons, huh? You guys get a lot of dragons out here? I can't say I ever encountered any before, but it seems like they're popping up left and right out in these parts.
Well, for the longest time, I mean, you don't know much about Calderon, do you?
No.
Everyone's saying that. Where do we go? There can't be a library, right? How do I go to someplace and meet everyone who is so incredibly antagonistic about you not immediately knowing the history? You guys are terrible for tourists.
So we are tourists, huh?
We don't take kindly to your kind around these parts.
Oh, I'd be happy to explain the history to you individuals. Well, Calderon is obviously one of the continent of Calderon, named after the great Cal, which is the dragon rider. The Duran really were all dragon riders back in the day for a few centuries ago. Cal was the name of the first dragon rider of the Golden Dragon. The Golden Dragon currently is by the name, and I gotta find that real quick. Where is it?
Kal-El, which is the name of Superman.
No. Hold on, give me 1 second.
In the meantime, you guys can experience the chat box, which is directly to our right. You can talk to other people in the chat. You can talk to us in the chat. Let us know if something you find funny, something you find annoying. If you want Luke to stop talking constantly. Nobody cares, Luke.
I haven't talked for like 10 minutes.
Good. Keep it that way.
I said like
Oh,
1
you're
minute.
cotton
to,
candy
like 10
mouth.
minutes.
But wait, there's more. Fabs, did you mention the new D&D Beyond integrated overlay?
I had not. If you take your cursor and you scroll to the left side of the screen, you can see the names of our characters, our classes, and you can see our health. If that is actually updating, which I don't know it is, but we can try. In any case, back to the lore.
Also, I really just want to get sponsored by Truly. So
You can't say that outright, Lawson.
why can't I say that outright?
You ruined the cat and mouse play between
That's like going
corporation
to
and
it's
Bill.
like going to a girl who's like streaming and being like, I
really like Truly.
girl.
I really like Truly. Truly is
Please
great.
sponsor me.
Okay, it's truly amazing.
Shut
Oh
up.
my god! I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna punch you in the face
Yeah, go for it.
right
Alright,
after you get your wisdom.
So I did
teeth
find the
taken out.
name. I did find the name. All right. So
Miss Frank.
she's expressing to you that the great Duran were known as the Dragon Riders a few centuries ago. Cal was the first Dragon Rider and really founded this continent of Calderon. Makes sense. The dragon that he rode was an ancient golden dragon by the name of Ansland. So Ansland. And Ansland is currently the golden dragon, keeping everyone at peace and keeping all of the chromatic dragons at bay. He has been alive for a few centuries now, and truly a remarkable entity. No one knows his whereabouts, but that's why this continent has been at peace for such a long time.
Its dragon flies down into the town, destroying
So-
thousands of buildings.
You all know that there's a lot of history of dragons, but you don't really believe it to be true because no one's really seen a lot of dragons in quite some time. That's why it was so peculiar with the white dragon coming into town, especially how far down south it was.
So you do get a lot of dragons.
Well, it's a little peculiar that we received a white one the other day. Thank you, by the way, for slaying it.
Oh, you're welcome. Of course.
Now, is there anyone else who has any other questions that I might be able to answer?
Unless, well, I know Books isn't going to be asking one. Or unless you have a question, I'd love to hear your story.
What would be the weather tomorrow?
What number am I thinking of?
It will be sunny with a high of 60 degrees. With coming from the west, there might be a cold front that might decrease it on the coast a little bit. But over here, in this area,
Chris, did you change it?
please tell me it's like a weather shit. I don't know what's behind me, but
I wasn't
change it to
prepped.
something like
I wasn't prepped on this. I don't have an image.
Like, some like
I can
change it to
save
some
this.
like
I can
big
save it.
frog or
You see, the
Anyways.
cold front is now pushing down towards the south.
like the high
change
of
it to
30 degrees, possibility chance of rain, snow, or just sunny. No, she expresses to you that tomorrow
5%
it's gonna
humidity.
it's gonna rain. She said, "Well, I see here that it's going to rain tomorrow."
Yeah, that's about it.
Is your cloud going to get wet? Do you fear for your cloud, Aura?
No, I was just hoping it'd be cloudy, but no, it's just rainy.
Well, I have a story that I'd love to hear. I have two friends back home. They got caught doing something they shouldn't, and I hadn't seen them since. Could you let me know where they are?
She
Or-
tells you. She says, "Well, for something like this, I need something of importance from you. I need to hold something that is an important value to you in order to see that."
I'll take off my necklace and I'll hold the cording, and I'll let her hold the silver quarter moon in her palm.
Okay. Cool. So she holds it down and kind of breathes very slowly, and then it begins to increase. And as she opens her eyes, they begin to glow in a white light. And you can see that she's currently scrying right now, trying to figure out where these individuals are. You look at her, and it's almost like shining white lights are going out of her eyes. And as it takes a few moments, she comes back and kind of catches her breath. And she goes, "There looks like the two that you seek are headed to the city of Ovex by the Restless Mountains." And you know that, like, currently, like, that's more north, a little bit more north than where your hometown is, Salem.
Mhm.
So you know where Ovex is located.
Huh. Never thought that they actually made it out. I'll put my necklace back on and
Any other questions?
Oh, yes. How much is this going to cost?
You've already paid.
Well, that's disconcerting. Anyway,
you look and you see that all of your stuff is gone.
No, you actually look at the table and there's only like 2 gold pieces that are standing before her.
All of us
Like-
put there.
Then, like, you look back in your pouch and you notice that just 1 gold piece is missing. She's not trying to freak you out. She kind of laughs and chuckles a
Not
little
trying
bit.
to freak us out.
I like-
Immediately
I like-
takes our money
I
without
like
us knowing.
I like messing with my clients a little bit, just to kind of put them on edge. But yes, you already paid. See,
Well, look, you have any questions, or are you going to be cynic Aura's rain cloud the entire time?
My cloud moves over to her.
the cloud kind of
Oh.
shifts over. It's like right above you.
Just drop shadow over the face.
I
Exactly.
will. I'm gonna ask her. What's the deal with the black spiders?
You see as her face goes from like, getting along with you and smiling, and immediately she stops and looks at you and goes, "I can't speak upon that, unfortunately."
Just kind of look like a I don't know what I was expecting look. Just like, of course.
Kind of looks around for a moment and she tries to write something down in regards to the black spiders and hand it to you, but as that happens, like the paper just like sears and catches fire and disperses before you can even look at it.
Great.
And she kind of looks at you and is like, "I can't talk about it."
Can I like look at see like if it was if like the paper was like enchanted, or if there's like anybody in the room that we hadn't seen?
Good question. So, roll a Arcana check on the paper. It's just like a small parchment she just pulled out of her like pocket.
Oh, -1. 17.
The parchment doesn't seem to be showing any sort of in like magical properties, but you definitely felt some dark energy that came from where the spot was, not where the paper is currently held.
Interesting. Well, that was fun. Unless anyone else wants to hear anything more, I think that I'm ready to go do some shopping.
Okay. Awesome. So as you guys are beginning to leave, she looks at you and goes, "Oh, and best of luck to you for you have your group has some wonderful things ahead of them."
Yeah. Hopefully.
Cool.
Thanks again.
And you guys walk out. At this point, you guys are making your way back. I would say back west. To head back towards kind of like the main areas of the city of Twendle. At this point, it'll be a great opportunity for a break. So we'll be back on in about 15 minutes. I will say, if you have any funny NPC ideas, you're happy to put them in the chat. And I'll let Chris pick. Chris Ward pick what NPC that I have to implement for the next session.
Ooh.
And I have to implement it in some way. It can be any funny NPC idea that you want, but Chris gets to pick it out at the end of the day, and I have to roll with it. And he'll text me which one it is, and I have to do it. So we'll be back on at
It's a legal contract. If he doesn't do it, he goes to jail.
Yeah, D&D jail. All right, so we'll be back on at 9:30 after this break.
All right. We'll be back.
And we're back. All right, so the group of adventurers have currently traveled to see Madame Navaria. And after revealing a few, I wouldn't say secrets, but just more information to the group, they have currently continued their way back west towards the more centralized city, the centralized area of Twendel. At this point, you guys continue to make your way. It's around 4 o'clock at this point. It's starting to get a little bit darker out. The sun is beginning to set over the horizon. At this point, what do you guys do?
Well, I was hoping that would last a little longer, but I guess we have to go play cards with Vaz. Aura,
Guess so.
I'll teach you how to cheat at cards. Come on.
Oh yeah, let's go. That's a fun
All right.
thing, though.
You continue making your way. Back to the centralized area, which is like where a lot of the bars and the shops and other areas where a lot of trading and bartering are located. And standing in front of the dancing deer, you see Salazar and Dorne. We're like, yeah, Eva, good to see you. Got your falcon. Why couldn't you just find us?
I am not the best finder.
That's okay. Did you recruit these three? We're really excited for you guys, all three of you, to be joining the Silver Eagles, one of the most prestigious guilds in all of the land.
Darn. The Silver Eagles doesn't exist. We're the Silver Falcons.
Yes. So Falcons, are you all three excited to join the Silver Falcons?
How much have you been drinking? And if you have, what? 'Cause I want that.
Salazar just like looks over and he just holds up like all 5 like on each hand fingers. Mouths, he's had 10 drinks. And you can smell it on him too. He's very much gone at this point. And he looks over and goes, "Oh, Eva, by the way, I found this awesome turkey leg in the bar. I don't know whose it was, but it was on the floor, and I don't know. It's really good. You want some?"
I don't think you should eat that.
Oh, nonsense! It's still good. You just look over at Salazar's kind of like shaking his head. He takes a huge bite out of it, and it's a little gross.
So how's it taste?
Tastes great. A little chewy. Oh, got a hair. Just pulls it out, throws it on the ground. So, why are we meeting here? Is it
Well,
for these
I have
recruits?
Well, sir, I have information about the black market that is opening later tonight.
Kind of looks around and goes, "Why are you saying that out loud when we're in front of the bar? Here, let's go a little bit more discreet. Follow me." You see, as he's like walking, he's kind of like zigzagging the road. Salazar's doing a very fantastic job of being that good friend and just kind of holding like the side of his leg as he's a very short, statured individual. He's keeping him kind of on the same path. And then he finally gets.
What race is Dorne again?
Dorne is a human, almost kind of a what's the guy's name? From I believe I'm forgetting the name right now. He just has a very large, beard, bigger stature, built dude.
Like Aquaman?
No, like I'm thinking Game of Thrones. Jon Snow's buddy, like the red hair.
Oh,
Kind of like that stature. So,
You all good?
I don't know whose that was.
Which one of us was that?
The
It was nothing.
It was nothing. Yeah, Oscar's at a rave right now. It's awesome. All right, so you guys continue on. Salazar is a gnome, by the way, very very short. Stands at about 3 foot, so very small guy, but he's strong. You end up kind of getting a little bit more out of the centralized area. There's a lot of farmland and terrain. There's some houses, and the road just continues to keep going. They, look around. It doesn't appear to be anyone nearby. You guys all do your due diligence in making sure that there's no one listening. And Dorne looks at you, Eva, and goes, "Okay, tell me more about where this black market is."
All right, so I'm just gonna tell him all the information that I found out. I was gonna tell him about the black spiders, the mysterious looking guy, and how when the sun sets, we should go and try and maybe a little sneakily go in there.
Okay. You convey this information to him, and he kind of ponders it for a moment. He goes, interesting. Do you think that they'll have the item of interest in there?
I can't say for sure, but I think it's a high probability.
Then we'll head over there, all of us together at dawn. That work for the rest of you three?
Small question. Are you guys cops? Are you guys trying to shut this down? Cause I would really love for something like this to stay, running just so I can have friends visit and get things if I need to get things that probably I shouldn't be having. Cause if you guys are cops, that's fine, but just go somewhere else.
It's are you a cop? This is the department. Are you a cop? Tell me if
Are you a cop?
You have to tell me if you're a cop. The law says
right. You have to tell me. You have to tell me. If he doesn't, if he doesn't say anything to you, then he's a cop.
Did you know
if
she was a cop?
Doesn't look at you, he's a cop, right? So, Dorne looks at you and just kind of chuckles a little bit. He goes, "We're not the cops. We're something much more cooler. We are the Silver Eagles." And Salazar slaps him and goes, "Falcons. We are the Silver Falcons.
Silver Falcons.
We are the Silver Falcons. We are not the cops. We are a guild that does missions for the right price and try to keep the greater good for everyone. But the black market is not something that I am typically opposed to. I'm not going to do anything much about it. Salazar, on the other hand, he might not like it, but I, of course, am one of the captains of the Silver Falcons, as I do say so myself. No, the Eagles, Silver Eagles. I meant yes.
I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot Eva a gleaming smile and say, "I can get down with that."
You can get down with that.
The Eagles. I love that.
Salazar gives you a thumbs up. Salazar looks over at Eva and goes, I think I gotta take this guy. And maybe get some shut-eye before we head out later. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Nonsense. I am in fantastic shape. Oh,
I look at him and I'm like, how many fingers am I holding up? And I hold up 2 fingers.
He just grabs one of them and goes, "What? See? Right here."
I'm gonna put an extra finger behind Eva's finger and see if I can make him think that it's her finger.
He gets utterly confused, and at this point, he gets extremely pale and goes, "Oh, that turkey leg's getting to me right now, guys. Oh god. And he walks over and just goes to the side. You just hear sound effects that you just know are bad. He's just vomiting on the side of the road. Salazar's just like, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. At this point, the plan is in action that you guys are gonna go into the cathedral later that night, and basically just check out the black market.
I wanna teach Aura how to cheat at cards.
Sure. So you guys have
Before
some
we
time in
leave,
between. Mhm.
I want to make it very apparent to the DM that I am not wearing my Silver Falcons stuff. I am going to be
Sure.
wearing casual clothes. I'm going to change
Sure.
into casual clothes.
Sure. You could also,
I don't
I
want-
mean, like, so the one thing I will say too is a cool part about your cloak is that you can actually, it's reversible, so you can kind of flip it over, and it's just like a black cloak. No one can really
Right.
notice it. And when
Then
you
I flip
when you flip it, the insignia and everything just like disperses. The whole thing is just like normal wear.
Yeah. I will flip it.
Okay. Make it a little easier for you. You gotta have cool items like that, you know?
Turn your coat around. Role play.
Yeah, okay.
Turn your coat inside out.
Don't break character.
Yeah, let's get this going. Let's there
No,
we
every time you
go.
do this, you have to actually do it.
Yes, absolutely. And then
It's the only way we know.
can't forget to zip it up. Can't forget to zip it up.
While we're waiting and cheating at cards, I'd like to take a short rest to heal up the dagger slice in my face.
Yeah, no problem. So, I mean, you heal up no problem. As you guys are sitting down in the cars, Vaz is actually not there, and the other patrons aren't there as well. But you have a deck of cards, and you get to play and begin to teach, or a couple of different, strategies and cards, how to cheat. I will have Aura run a performance check.
Oh, nice. I'm good at that. She lied. 7.
Yeah, so as she's shuffling the cards and you're watching her, Silithal, you clearly see that it's gonna take some work, but you see that it's coming along.
I'm better at dice games.
I'll start like betting with the local patrons.
Nice. So you sit down, and Aura, you kind of are watching over, sitting at the table in the dancing gear, and Lloyd's there, and he's getting some drinks. It's gotten a lot busier because it's later in the day, so I would say like not crowded. Like there's only like a few tables that are open. The rest of them are filled, and there's a table in the corner, back in the back corner of the room. And there are currently 4 or 5 players sitting at this table, including yourself, Salithol. So 5 players total, playing some cards. And one man looks more of a normal townsfolk, brown hair human, not the nicest streetwear, but he's got some coin, and he's looking to gamble, and he kind of smiles at you. He's like, okay, I call. Puts a couple of gold pieces in. The next individual is a half elf, and wearing more elegant gear and black hair, green eyes, and looks at you and goes, "Nah, I don't think that this is going to be the hand for me." And he folds, pushes the cards towards your way because you're dealing this round. The third individual is a older gentleman, white, scruff, but the probably coolest mustache you've ever seen. I mean, he's rocking almost a kind of a cowboyish type hat, but not really. He goes, starts twisting the mustache, looks at you and goes, yeah, I fold. Folds the cards away. And the last individual looks to appear as one of the town's volunteer guards under the marshal. So he has a cloak that we had talked about before.
He says turned inside out.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not role playing that, Luke. I'm not staying. I'm not going to stay canon.
I don't know, Austin. I think it might be turned inside out.
It's not. He looks over and goes, I'll call 2. Why not? I'll call 2. So there are 3 people currently playing. The pot's at about, I would say, 25 gold pieces at splits. It's a little higher stakes game. So currently they're playing five card draw poker, and you have a pretty decent hand. So I need you to roll a 2d4s. You have 3 pair right now, so you roll 2d4s. How much you get?
A 2 and a 1.
Okay. So you get an additional. You get an additional one. So you have 4 of a kind right now. So you have 4 of a kind. You're feeling pretty good about the hand. The other individual.
Sailor Phil cheats his hand. I have 5 of a kind.
The other individual. the other individual looks over, takes 1 card, and then the townsfolk guard. Okay. First one lays down and goes, 2 pair. Lays it down, starts beginning to smile. The town's volunteer guard lays down and goes, 3 of a kind. So you throw down your hand, 4 of a kind, right then and there. They go, man, and you just pull in 25 extra gold pieces. So I'll add that to your character if you want, or you can.
I can add it too.
Cool. Yeah, I'll let you add it. At this point, a couple of the players are like, "All right, that's enough for me. That's it. We've been playing for a few hours now. I'm done. And you're just kind of standing there with your arms up, raised.
All right.
A few of the other individuals, they kind of come down. You feel a tap, on your shoulder, and as you turn around, you see that Evangeline is currently looking at you, being like, gotta get going.
All right. Let's move.
All right. Cool.
I'll give.
Go ahead.
I'll take 2 gold coins, and I'll put them like over Eva's eyes, and just like hold them in front of her and be like, "See these? This is what having fun wins you. Try it."
Can I see if I can just swipe one?
Yeah, go for it.
Wait, what would that be? I rolled with that.
It would be. I would say it'll probably be like. I mean, you're going fast. It's an athletics check against his passive.
Athletics.
Let's see, what is it? Passive dexterity or whatever we call it.
My passive dexterity is a +5. And
your reflexes, also known as your reflexes.
Yeah.
All right, that's a 15.
Yeah, you try to swipe it, but too quick.
Here, look. I see the money.
I'm not even listening to him. I'm already out the door.
You have a 20 dexterity. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll flip each coin. I'll flip a coin to Karsten, a coin to Aura.
Fine.
Awesome. So you flip a coin each, and you begin to make your way towards the cathedral. It is getting darker out, and you notice that there's not a lot of people that are currently walking, in the streets. I need your entire group to roll stealth checks for me. And I will roll for Dorne and Salazar.
God!
I dropped a die.
Oh!
Great.
He dropped a die!
What? Oh wait, this is 2.
This is
Oh
2.
my gosh.
That's 2.
Oh wait, we gotta drop die.
Yep, you
Yeah.
dropped a die.
I dropped a die.
Oh.
Sucker!
I was
run
the
the
first one to
overlay.
drop one. I was the first one to drop one.
Drops in the chat.
Mine was literally like not a roll. It was just
It
a brush.
still counts.
You
It
rolled
still
and it
counts.
dropped. That's worse.
No, it's not.
Chat, I want every single person that's in here, I want you to type dropped in all caps with like 4 exclamation points. Everyone.
Dropped.
Yo,
Drop.
The comment, dumb fuck dropped.
I know, Chris. I you. Lawson, I know that's you. I know what you're saying. I see it.
It's
You
amazing.
have the exact same name on Discord. You think I don't notice your freaking name?
That's epic. Give a coin to the die.
Yeah, you know what?
That's
Everyone in
amazing.
the party gets one except for you. You're gonna get one.
I don't care.
No one cares, Luke. Okay.
No one
Yeah,
cares.
and I don't care either.
Oh man, I drop a die, nothing happens. Luke drops a die, everyone, the whole world goes crazy.
You drop a die
Oh
as
my
yeah,
gosh.
who cares? You drop a die as a player, everyone loses their mind.
There it is. Amazing.
We
I
got.
don't even know. Wait, so what are we doing again?
You
Stealth
had
check.
to roll a stealth check.
Completely forgot where we're at. All right, so everyone roll stealth check. So Luke, what did you roll off the table?
I couldn't see it. It went behind my desk. I have to get it later. I had to roll a different one. I got
you're
13.
fine. You're fine. What did everybody else roll?
3.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not good.
I got an 8.
9.
What the
Jeez.
heck?
I rolled
You got
2 11s.
5.
I rolled 2 11s.
I have a +7 and I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2, not a
I have
+1.
disadvantage on stealth.
Good at it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so at this point, you guys are being, you're blatantly walking towards the cathedral, and people are kind of looking at you. I mean, like a big group of you are walking in that direction. Everyone's kind of headed back home, and you hear a few whispers of some townsfolk that have been basically out in the fields farming and collecting different types of grain, plants, other herbs of sorts, and it's pretty obvious that this large group is going in one direction. So few of the volunteer guards are kind of eyeing you guys up a little bit, and you do notice them too. So I need you guys all to roll another stealth check.
I'm better.
Wow. 9.
17.
15.
10.
Okay, and I rolled well. So you split up a little bit in terms of spacing, so that way it's not as obvious. And begin to make your way a little bit closer. Aura, you're the last one, and as you're walking with Dorne, he starts just rambling on about the Silver Falcons. He's like, listen, really using you in the Silver Falcons, I mean, you are clearly, someone that is perfect for our group, being as that you were a Ganassi of some sorts. So I think it's extremely important. He's just starting, talking, not his inside voice, not stealthy at all. And you're looking at him, just very much concerned that he's giving you both your location. You see a town's volunteer guard begin to walk towards you. The rest of you make your way and have made it to the cathedral at this point, and you are at the entrance. And as you look to your left, you see a town's guard, flagging these two individuals down after you've kind of spaced out and split up a little bit. Town's guard gets closer. Halt, you two. You guys are leaving the city? You guys are leaving the city?
Not quite. We heard quite a bit how interesting the cathedral is, so we came to pay a visit. As tourists,
It's almost curfew. Why are you out past curfew?
Oh, really?
You're gonna be out past curfew. Curfew's 5 o'clock. You gotta be in the centralized part of town. Safety of everyone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll head back now. Come on, Dorne. As we turn around and go.
All right. Okay, great. Sure. He turns back and he was like, "Oh, I'll take you back. We'll take you back. Make sure you get back safe."
Thank you.
You mean
So
to walk
do I
back?
see this happening?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there? Okay, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna use minor illusion
What's the range?
and 30 feet.
Okay, you're gonna have to catch up to them a little bit, so I'm gonna have you roll a stealth check, so that way he doesn't notice you.
Good roll when it counts. 16.
Yeah. You're very light on your feet, and you run and get within 30 feet of them, making sure that he doesn't notice. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna cast minor illusion, and all I'm gonna do is cast like in the completely opposite direction, just like a little girl like yelling out for help.
Help! Help! Help!
Help! Help!
Help! Help!
Help!
Help! So you cast this out into the fields, and you see as the guards like, you guys know you're back into town, right?
Of course.
Oh, okay, cool. I gotta go attend to this person. It's okay. And he starts like running towards them.
I turn and speed walk back.
Yep.
Trying
Both
to
of
be
you
stealthy.
start sprinting back.
I'm going back too.
Not even worry about it. There's no stealth checks at this point. You guys just sprint back. You finally make your way to the cathedral. The door is currently shut. It appears to be locked.
Oh.
Okay, so that was bad. We're gonna try to avoid that. I'd really like everyone to make sure that like nobody walks up on me while I'm doing this, because I don't want to get thrown in jail in a town that I've been in here for 2 days. I'm gonna start trying to pick the lock.
Okay.
What should I roll? Like, I know I'm going to roll.
I think is it sleight of hand? Isn't that what it is?
Usually,
I want to say it's sleight of hand, but I could be
believe
wrong.
it's a dex check with your proficiency in.
It's a sleight of hand
right.
check. That's
there
what
is
it
like a
is.
lock tool of proficiency.
Yeah, there's like a. I'm pretty sure it's like a something to do with your dexterity proficiency stuff like that. Because I know it's like a tools check or something.
No,
It's like a specific type of check.
It's dex plus proficiency if you have proficiency in lock.
Yeah, so it would be sleight of hand because that's what it is.
Oh well, yeah, I still have proficiency in that anyway. That's awesome. That's a 23.
Gotta love
Yeah,
rogues.
you pick the lock easily. Opens up, door opens. You all walk inside, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The cathedral is not large, but in terms of height, beautiful stained glass. At this point, it's close to being sundown. I mean, there's just a little bit of light left, but the moon currently in the sky is full, and it's shining through the top. The roof of this cathedral is different color shades of glass, and as it shines through, it almost kind of emanates all throughout the ground, and there's a lot of different pews that are currently lined up. As a normal cathedral be, there's an altar, and obviously like a main chair at the top, and there's that one row in the aisle that you would walk through, center through, down. There's doesn't appear to be like anyone located here. You don't see anyone, but you do see a door near the back past the altar that you guys to continue to make your way through.
I'll head towards it.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock twice,
Mhm.
and I'm going to ask in Thieves' Cant, is this the black market?
You hear a grunting, like, and kind of like a little bit of a bang, which is like kind of hears like a wood on wood bang. It's like a little clank. And you hear like foots that kind of like feet that just kind of step up and pulls like what appears to be just like a little opening towards the top. It's like very big nosed older man. He's got a couple moles on his face and very distinguishable eyes that are black but almost yellowy. You know,
All I'm thinking about is
got crust and like kind of like some boogers.
All
coming
I'm
out
thinking
of, like,
about is
his nose.
the movie Tangled with the guy who's just like, "What's the password?"
It's exactly, yeah, that's pretty much it. And he looks and goes, eh.
I'm asking in Thieves' Cant, is this the black market?
What the fuck you think of this?
All right then. I'd like to come cruise with the Golden Dragon.
What's the password?
I walk past Sailorfield and I knock twice and say Golden Dragon.
Ah! You hear him get off, opens the door, and goes, welcome.
No pleasant introductions are allowed anymore.
They're not.
Just
What's the
walk.
password?
Golden Dragon.
Yeah, come on in.
Walk in.
like what?
Have
We're
yourself
not
a
together.
wonderful day. And he like bows before you, and you hear the door shut behind you, like, and he just sits down, and he just you as you continue walking, you kind of glance back, and he's just sitting there. The stairwell is headed down below the cathedral, so it's probably, I would say, at least a couple stories in terms of a walk. I mean, it's long. There are torches that are lit on the side of it as you continue to make your way down. As you walk lower and lower and lower down these stairs, you begin to hear a lot of chatter, a lot of interacting, a lot of talking, some clanking of different ale, along with different cups and chalices. And as you get to the bottom, it's just a large, almost common room type deal. Ton of space. Tables that are laid out everywhere. There's tables for potions. There's tables for different swords. There's different equipment. You look and there's like different scrolls with different types of writing and ancient writing, which is indistinguishable to some of you. There's some books. A very much variety of races are down here. There are a lot of elves. There's some drow. On top of that, you do have some gnomes. I would say probably a few fairies are in there as well, which is a little bit peculiar. There are leonins and other different creatures that you really haven't seen before. What really perks your group's eye is that it almost looks like a podium that sits right at the end of the room that you're currently in right now, and it's very large. And the ceiling is everything's really cobblestone all over, and the ceiling is made out of wood. So it's very much nice. And some of the cobblestones, there's like a couple different like smaller heads of dragon skulls that are in different areas. There's an owlbear skull up on the wall. There's a very nice but beat up rug that it looks like extremely old, but is still there because of, I guess, the history of individuals being here. Everyone's talking, gathering. There's some trading in terms of food, meat, beverages. There is a lot of weapons down here that you have not seen before. You guys begin to walk around. You see that there's vampire fighting equipment. There's weapons made out of silver. You look and see that there are some orc weapons, some goblin weapons. You look to the right and see that there's this goblin who's currently like looking right at all four of you and going, "So you guys want to buy some potions?" And he's currently standing at a table full of different vials of potions. Come on. Yeah, I got the good stuff. I got really good stuff if you want it. Come on. You know you want it. You know you want to buy some.
Did these potions do that to you? Do you drink your own?
I got potions for everything. Whoa, of course. I mean, I love all different kinds of potions, but I drink some, but not all of them. But this one, he like grabs one. He's examining it so close. He goes, "This one can blow up everything in almost a mile radius.
Well, I mean, it could, but I know it can blow things up. And he's like, hey, this one's not for sale. And he puts it back in his pocket. He goes, come on, come on, I do want to do business with you. Boy. Come on, what do you got for me?
I know I'm the impulsive one of the group, but I think I'm going to pass. I'm gonna start walking. I'm gonna start walk away from the group, and I'm gonna start.
That's fine. Hey, listen, you don't want quality potion? That's fine. But hey, I'm here all night. I'll be auctioning off some stuff for you. Hopefully you stay for the auction, It's gonna be exciting.
Nice.
You see, as you guys begin to walk away, he starts kind of hustling and talking to some other individuals that are nearby his table. I'll have who's taking the lead right now.
I'm breaking away from the group. I'm going to look for.
All right.
I'll probably take the lead.
Okay. So, as you guys are continuing to walk through this and really browse around, there's a lot of different vendors. After about 5 or 10 minutes, you see what appears to be a larger statured human, definitely more bigger. I would say he's fat for sure. Walk in, being escorted by two very much so distinguishable individuals. One of which is a male that almost looks male human, bodybuilder, bald completely, black eyebrows, blue eyes, and he's currently not wearing a shirt. He's just kind of wearing kind of like a leather, type of armor that just goes all over his chest, and has a long sword to the side, and is extremely what appears to be strong. The second individual that stands next to him is none other than the one you ran into before, which is Cairo Anton, standing next to him with red eyes. This larger gentleman stands in the middle, and he goes, all right, everyone. It's time for the auction. Everyone take your places, and we'll get this show on the road. All right? He walks up and takes his place at the podium, and he's balding, bigger dude. He's got very much so fancy rings and wearing a fur coat of an owlbear on his back. It was the first item for auction, which we are going to start off tonight. We have 3 items, one of which is almost priceless, but I am so excited to start off and kick it off tonight. We have the golden dragon egg, and Cairo looks over and nods over to the side, and a couple individuals walk over and are carting in
Is Cairo up on the stage with him?
Cairo's to the right of him, and to the left of him is that built individual. These 2 other individuals roll in a cart, and it's cloaked, and they pull this like blanket, almost like little towel off of it, and sitting there is a golden dragon egg. And that's where we're ending tonight's session.
There we go.
How dare!
Heck, they
How
get
dare
that.
you!
Good spot.
Come back our next session and find out what happens.
Take this off finally.
We will not be streaming next week due to the holidays, and also that I am getting wisdom teeth surgery this Friday, so I don't think I'll be able to speak that well. But we will be picking up again on I believe the 28th. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll see where this kind of group leads and what happens. So I'm really excited, but thank you all for those who are watching and stayed with us. We're excited to continue streaming with us.
If you're still here, I want to see some toothless in the chat. I want to see toothless. TH. I immediately started spelling the word wrong, so I stopped saying it.
TH.
Nope, that's it.
And also, I hope that I can be sponsored by Truly. It is a great drink, and it is truly amazing.
People are typing toothless.
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 Classic.
Toothless.
Toothless. How to train your drag. How to train your dragon, but Hiccup's got a lisp. It's toothless.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Follow us on all platforms. We're Dice Droppers on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Just follow us on everything.
Yeah, we're hoping at some point. I will say that I'm going to try to obtain some cool dice over the next couple weeks, and I think I might be doing a giveaway to certain individuals via Instagram or Twitter or whatever we want to do. But tune in next week, and I will give you guys the code word or whatever.
2 weeks. Yeah.
And 2 weeks. So that'll be the 28th. So the 28th is when we're going to pick up our next session, and I'll give you guys a code word and tweet it out, comment on our Instagram, and first one to do it, I guess, or however we want to do it, but we'll give some giveaways hopefully in the next couple weeks. So thank you so much again, and have a great night.
See you later.